Childhood Tier List! Hi everyone, it's me Gaming Do, and welcome to a very interesting video. Today, for our next tier list, we're going to be doing 2000s Childhood Nostalgia Tier List. And the reason why we're doing this is because this is childhood from people born in the late 90s and early 2000s, which is the range I was born, if you didn't know. I was born in the early 2000s, in the year 2001, so this is a list that is perfect for me, and I can let you know if this is childhood, it has great memories, it's good memories, bad memories, or didn't really grow up with it. So why don't we start with what is a classic to me? I didn't get too many, so I'm actually just going to put it in good memories, but pillow pets. I had two. I got them in the year 2010. I got the dog, and then I got the bumblebee. I still have the bumblebee one to this day, but I don't know where the dog one went. I don't really use it anymore. It's just in my closet somewhere. I put it in there randomly. But I do have some good memories with them. I went to a mall up in New York State about half an hour from where I live to get a pillow pet. That's the nearest place that had them. So we had to cross state borders and everything to get one. But if you don't know what that mall is, it's the Palisades Mall. It's a really nice mall. It's a huge mall, actually. But yeah, I remember one day in 2010 going to get this pillow pet, the bumblebee one, and I still have it to this day. It does bring back a lot of memories, but I didn't get too many, so yeah. What is a lot of childhood memories is Lego. Oh, I had a bunch of Legos. Not as many as some kids, but still, from the age of like 7 to like 13, Legos were my life. I was obsessed with Legos back pretty much throughout my entire mid-childhood. Pretty much all the way up until I became a teenager. And even then, when I got Lego Dimensions, I got a lot of it. Not all of it, but I got a majority of the Lego Dimensions sets. Lego is a big part of my childhood. I got a lot of sets. Not my biggest thing for my childhood. However, what is Pixar, which is going to overdo Lego. There is not one Pixar movie that I have missed yet. Even Turning Red, which I just saw last week, which is not one of Pixar's all-time best films, but you know what? It's still a pretty good movie, but that's not one of my childhood Pixar movies. That's an adulthood Pixar movie. All of these are childhood Pixar movies. WALL-E, Cars, Monsters, Inc., The Incredibles, Toy Story 1 through 3. I'd even say to a degree Monsters University. We get into teenagehood, starting with Inside Out for me. That's the first Pixar film to come out when I was a teenager, was Inside Out. So that'd probably go more into teenagehood, but childhood is like the first 13 Pixar films, and I have a strong attachment to all of them. Some of them are not as good as others, like Cars 2 is a stinker, and so is The Good Dinosaur. But besides that, you know what? Pixar holds a very special place in my heart. Furbies. Furbies are going to be good memories. I actually got both the 2005 version when I was 4 years old, and I got the 2012 version when I was 11. They were cool. I think the 2005 one is just funnier because it's a lot more creepy looking. The Furbies kind of freaked me out at first, but once I got the one that came out in 2005, I was very little. I was only 4 when they came out. I got pretty attached to it. Probably my favorite gift for Christmas 2005. Um, yeah, I don't have too many memories with Furbies because honestly, 2005 is the year I got my DS, and that's pretty much. If that comes up, that's going to be a huge part of my. Oh, it is. I see it. I see it. Yeah, that's DS is a huge part of my childhood. Spoiler. But yeah, Furby. I had Furbies, but not too many. So yeah, Lunchables. I've definitely had Lunchables during my childhood. Actually, my favorite is right there, the pizza one. But I didn't have too many because I had a lot of sandwiches as a kid when I was going to school. So I didn't really pack. I had Lunchables in my lunch for school a couple of times, mainly the pizza one. I think I got the nacho one a few times too. But I mainly packed sandwiches and juice boxes and like Cheez-It crackers and an apple. That was usually my school lunch when I went to school as a kid. But I did pack Lunchables a few times, and I had Lunchables more at home than I did when I was at school. Somehow, when I was on summer vacation, I used to eat these a lot, and they're good. Actually, they're kind of crap, but for a kid, they're good, but they're not bad. But I didn't have them a lot. Pokemon cards. This was a very brief thing for me. You know, I'm not a Pokemon fanatic. I like the games. I'm a big fan of the 4th gen, actually. So around the time I was into 4th gen is when I collected a lot of Pokemon cards. So I was into Pokemon cards, but not to the degree that a lot of people were. Pokemon cards, I like them, but they're not, I don't know. Webkinz. Oh, Webkinz. Webkinz is my freaking childhood. Oh, Webkinz. I remember January 2007, the very first Webkin I got was a polar bear named Bobby, and pretty much until 2012, I collected them constantly. I would say I have 50 plus Webkins. I should go count. You know what I'm gonna do? I am gonna go on my old Webkins account one day and record myself playing it and say, going back to my Webkins for the first time since 2012. See how they're up to, see if they're freaking starving and malnourished. But yeah, I have huge memories of Webkins. And yeah, I can't believe how many Webkins I have. I don't know if they've ever been on, I think a few of them have been on GD Plush, but I had a lot of Webkins as a kid. Skechers. I, I had one pair of Skechers shoes in my entire childhood. I got the Air Raiders shoes when they came out because I really wanted them because all my friends were wearing them. But outside of that, nothing really. I didn't really have that many Skechers shoes. That was the stepping stones, though, to where I started going from, like, character shoes, like, I got Lightning McQueen shoes as a kid, to, like, wearing actual brand shoes. Right now I'm wearing Nike shoes. I showed you that during Christmas, but, yeah, the Air Raiders is the point where I started wearing brand shoes instead of, character shoes as a kid. So, yeah. High C. High C has great memories. I had a lot of High C as a kid. My favorite one was the blue raspberry one. I'm just a fan of blue drinks in general. But blue raspberry was a very special one to me. And I didn't drink them that much. What will come up, I think, I don't know if it's going to be here. I drank Capri Sun a lot more than I drank High C, but High C was still a big part of my childhood, but not quite all childhood. MySpace. I should have put something like didn't really do it, but I used it a couple times. I'm gonna put it under didn't grow up, because I didn't really use it. I had an account when my mom made one. I think she made one for me too. But I used it maybe twice. So I really don't have much to say about MySpace. All I know is it's pretty much dead now, and I don't know. Silly bands. Silly bands, silly bands, silly bands. Silly bands were a huge part of my childhood. Second grade was around the point where these started to get popular for me. This was a big thing in second grade when I was 8 years old. Me and my friends, I literally had probably hundreds of these as a kid. We would trade. I remember the unicorn somehow was the one a lot of people wanted, and I finally got it. And some kid came up to me and like, "Can I have the unicorn?" And I'm like, no. It took me like, I had to go down to South Jersey to get that. I finally found it in like 3 hours from where I lived on the opposite end of New Jersey, which I said this 100 times, but New Jersey is the state where I live. And he started crying. Like, it took me months to find it. And then he wanted it, and I'm like, "Sorry, dude, but no." And then he started crying. What the hell? That took me months to find. Now, I don't know where the heck it is. I might have given it to somebody. But I don't know where they were. It got so popular that I even got the Toy Story 3 Silly Bands when they came out, because Silly Bands were popular around the time that came out. But, Silly Bands are a part of my childhood, but, no, they are. And I have a lot of memories of trading these to people around my school in second grade. Old YouTube, old YouTube. Yes, definitely. I didn't really watch Smosh that much, admittedly, but Annoying Orange and Fred I watched a lot of. Now, admittedly, I do have a soft spot for the earlier Annoying Orange, but I can't freaking stand it anymore. It's to the point where I'm not even really subscribed to it. I am, but only because I occasionally watch like the first year of it, because it's not that bad, but now it really is the Annoying Orange. And Fred was special. I remember when the movie came out and I watched that the night it came on Nickelodeon. That was a freaking great memory. John Cena as his dad. That's classic. But yeah, old YouTube definitely has a lot of childhood memories for me. I watched a lot of obscure channels. I didn't watch Smosh a lot. I watched them a few times, but Knowing Orange, Fred, there was this toy reviewer called The Review Spot I used to watch as a kid. The Blitzwinger I used to watch a lot as a kid. I forgot who else, but one thing that I was popular and I'm freaking ashamed of using as a kid was Skylander. There was this Skylander Kids, I think I used to watch. I think they have a channel now called FGTV. But, yeah, Skylanders suck. Admittedly so. They took away Spyro, but I'm not going to go into a rant about that now. But, yeah. No, I have a lot of memories with old YouTube. YouTube used to be so much better back from, like, even when I first started my channel, YouTube was better. Even in 2016, YouTube was better. Wasn't really until the following year in 2017 things started to go downhill. The first year on my channel was pretty good. Like, things weren't nearly as stressful. There weren't so many freaking snowflakes on there who got offended by everything, and the company didn't get offended, and oh, everything has to be for the children. No, YouTube was a place where you got to upload whatever you wanted, whenever you wanted, as long as it wasn't too disgustingly bad. Like, there's some things that could go overboard, but as long as you don't go that far, that's fine. But if you dare freaking swear on your channel or anything, you could get in trouble. Oh, God. You had the wrong music on your channel, you could get... YouTube used to be so much better. Anywho, Blockbuster. I have great memories with Blockbuster. Blockbuster was really the first half of my childhood. The second half of my childhood, Blockbuster is really closed. But I do have a lot of memories of Blockbuster. Especially the day in 2006 when I went there with my dad and we rented the Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit video game, which was pretty cool. I mean, I don't know if I'd play it again, but we rented that. I believe we used to rent a lot of movies there. Blockbuster was so freaking cool. Why do they have to have all these freaking... I don't know. What is there? Like... I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that you could replace out there with Blockbusters. I think that you should give Blockbuster a second chance. Because I'm starting to realize there's a lot of positives to physical media. And one of my biggest positives, once you get something on physical media, you have it forever. When you're on a streaming service, sometimes things go away on streaming services. Oh, you only have until this day to watch this. That's the worst part about digital media. You only have limited time to watch stuff, unless you buy it. Once you buy it, you're fine. I'm not anti-digital media. I'm starting to like it more and more, but I still have a strong soft spot for physical media. I buy stuff on digital media, but not quite as much. Next thing I'm planning on buying on physical media on April 12th is going to be the Spider-Man No Way Home on Blu-ray, but anyways, I wish we still had Blockbuster. There's only one in the entire country now, and they used to have a rental video store still in the Midwest United States in all the way up until the 2020s. They had it pretty much the entire 2010s. I think 2010 is the year my local Blockbuster shut down. No, the one in my town shut down. I'm sorry, I'm rambling on, but this is me going on about my childhood. In the 2000s, my local Blockbuster, there was two, what am I trying to say? Damn, there were two Blockbusters in my county, in the state I lived in. One of them closed in 2008, which is the one in my town, and then one of them closed in 2010, which was in another town, pretty much on the opposite end of the county. I remember the month, like, before it closed, they were having the closing signs. I had my freaking head down, like, oh no, why is this closing? So then, I believe it was the Nickelodeon movie Snow Day. I got as my last movie I ever got from Blockbuster. I don't remember a damn thing about that movie, but anyways. That's about enough about Blockbuster, but it's something I had a lot of memories with, but really, I can't put it at absolute childhood because it really was only the first half of my childhood. Kids Bop. I didn't grow up with it. The only Kids Bop CD I got ever was from a Wendy's kids meal. They had freaking Kids Bop. There was one CD I got that had like 2 or 3 songs. Listen to that. I was never into Kids Bop. I didn't grow up with Kids Bop at all. Snuggie. Snuggie's gonna go under good memories. I had some, but I didn't have like a lot of Snuggies. I had 2 actually. One I got, it was like a snowflake one. I got that. This would almost border into teenagehood when I got these, because these were still around during my teenagehood. But I was like 12. I don't have too many memories of getting them. I believe I got them for Christmas in 2013. And that's really all I have to say. I have memories of them, but I don't really remember much. Build-A-Bear Workshop. You know what? It's almost the same situation as with Blockbuster. I adored this place during the first half of my childhood. But after 2010, I stopped going here pretty much. That's really because I grew out of it. I was like, you know what? The only plushes I get now are like Mario plushes or like, I don't know, Toy Story characters. No offense to them, but I almost went there when one of those movies came out. I believe it was the Sonic the Hedgehog. I almost went there and got it. It looked really cool, but then I was like, this might be slightly embarrassing. But I do have a lot of memories there. I got my biggest memory of going there is when the movie Surf's Up came out. They had Cody Maverick as one of the bears. I stuffed him up. I gave him a heart inside of there. I forgot what else I got. But yeah, the Build-A-Bear at my local mall is still open. But I grew out of it after like 2010. But I do have a lot of memories going there. PlayStation. PlayStation is not just childhood. PlayStation. Well, I guess we'll go with Nintendo first because I clicked on that. Nintendo is not just childhood. Nintendo is forever. I will forever be a fan of video games. I pretty much had every single Nintendo console except for the SNES. Even the NES, I got it at a thrift store for $60. It didn't work, but I technically had it because I bought it. I played it once because it worked for just like 10 minutes. I bought an RBI baseball game for it, but it barely worked. Now, I didn't have a Nintendo 64 until 2 years ago in 2020 when I got one for my birthday because I always wanted one. I don't regret it, but I don't really play it that much because the fact that I have a flat screen TV and there's just consoles I play more than it, but it's got some of the best games. My four favorites are the four I got for it when I first got it, which is Diddy Kong Racing, Ocarina of Time, Mario 64, and Banjo-Kazooie. But, yeah, I do have a lot of memories with Nintendo. My favorite Nintendo console is a tie between the Nintendo DS, Wii, and 3DS. These were my biggest Nintendo consoles. The DS was my first Nintendo console I ever got. I played on my cousin's Game Boy Advance before that, but it wasn't my Game Boy Advance. My DS was the first one that was actually mine that I got gifted to me for my 4th birthday. Yeah, that was fun because I broke it after a span of like a month. But I still got another one and I was told to be more careful with it, and I was. I have a lot of games I played on it. My favorite, though, is Mario Kart DS. I played that game so damn much as a kid. And second place would probably be Nintendogs. I loved that game as a kid. This is going to be a long video, so just like the US States one, I might split this up into 2 or 3 parts. But we're going to get to PlayStation now. Really quickly with Nintendo, I have a lot of memories with most of the consoles, especially the DS, Wii, and 3DS. With the Wii, I have a lot of memories of getting it for my 7th birthday. I got Super Mario Galaxy and Super Smash Bros. Brawl on it. And I played the hell out of those games. Those were freaking awesome. I loved them. And then the 3DS was kind of bordering on older childhood. I was 10 when I got that, but still, I have a lot of memories with my 3DS. My main game I played on that was actually Animal Crossing New Leaf, I believe was the one on that. But yeah, I have a lot of memories with Nintendo. With PlayStation, I have had literally every single PlayStation console to date. At one point I had the PS1, I still have the PS2 through 5. Yes, I am not joking when I say this. I have a PlayStation 5. If you see one of my videos from 2020, I showed it off. I gotta play that more. I don't really play my PlayStation 5 because I don't have a lot of games for it, but I still have it. I have Call of Duty Cold War and Guardians of the Galaxy. It's really the only games I have for it. I'm planning on getting the new God of War game for it, and definitely Spider-Man when that comes out next year. Probably Final Fantasy 16 too, but anyways, PlayStation. PlayStation is a huge part of my childhood. For my childhood, it was mainly the PlayStation 2. Number one video console. Number one video game console I played. Period. I played that all the freaking time as a child. There wasn't many times when I didn't play that as a child. Oh my god, I'm seeing so many of these things that are bringing me back to my childhood. Yeah, I did a lot of this stuff as a childhood. I'm sorry, I'm tired. I'm sorry to be gross, but I just got done picking up dog poop out of my yard, and that's literally a whole winter's full of it, so I am kind of tired right now. That's why I'm messing up a little bit. But, PlayStation, huge part of my childhood, and yeah. So, I'm going to come back later for part 2. I don't think there's going to be a third part, but I need a little bit of a break. I'll be back. Alrighty, let's continue this with Microsoft Windows. Definitely my childhood. Always my operating system. The only time I ever really used Apple operating systems is during high school, which they primarily had Apple computers instead of Microsoft computers, but outside of that, I am a Windows guy, absolutely. I've had Windows since Windows XP days, and to this day I have it with Windows 10. I'm not impressed with Windows 11 so far, so that's why I'm keeping Windows 10 for now until I get a new computer that can run it a little bit better. But I've had pretty much all the Windows from XP till now. One I used the least was 8, because I think I only got one single computer with that, but that wasn't a great Windows anyways. Excuse me, okay. Club Penguin. Club Penguin has great memories for me. I didn't play it as much as Webkinz, but still, I did play this a lot. Excuse me, I gotta get a sip of water, I'm sorry. I just had a very big blizzard from Dairy Queen and it's clogging my throat. Okay, that should be better. Club Penguin is a game I used to play with my cousin a little bit when we were kids. And I had fun with it. The thing is, I just didn't play it as much as Webkinz. That's why it's great memories instead of childhood. But yeah, I definitely played Club Penguin back in the day, but not as much as Webkinz. Littlest Pet Shop. I didn't really grow up with it. It was a girl's toy to me. I didn't really want it that much. Okay, Disney Channel. Disney Channel is something I admit, actually, this may be very shocking for somebody my age, but Disney Channel was by far the one channel I watched the least while I was a kid. I watched a lot more Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. My favorite was Nickelodeon until, excuse me. Well, it goes like this. Nickelodeon was my favorite from pretty much the time I was born until like 2010. Then, when the regular show era was around, pretty much till like the premiere of Steven Universe, which I'm not a huge fan of. It was Cartoon Network, then it was Nickelodeon. Now, outside of the Loud House and older SpongeBob, I don't really watch Nickelodeon that much at all. I don't watch cartoons as much as I used to in general. But that's just the parts of growing up. You can watch cartoons as long as you want, but I'm very, very selective with my cartoons now. I don't watch every cartoon on a channel now. I watch the ones I'm interested in, like Loud House, especially the older ones, SpongeBob. I'll watch stuff like Batman the Animated Series. I'm gonna watch Teen Anywho, um, Disney Channel had one show I thoroughly enjoyed: Phineas and Ferb. I loved Phineas and Ferb, and my favorite character is Dr. Doofenshmirtz. He's so freaking funny. But outside of that, Disney Channel and Phineas and Ferb gave me a lot of good memories, but really, outside of that, not really a huge Disney Channel fan. Mighty Beans, I got them once, I think. So, I'm putting didn't grow up with this, as in I had these, but I didn't really play with them that much. I had a few of these, but I didn't really play with them. I got the Star Wars ones, I believe, when they released Star Wars ones. But yeah, I didn't really play with them that much. Roblox, I have never played it, not even once. And judging by what I've seen in Roblox videos, I don't really plan to. Nerf? Nerf is good memories. I had a few Nerf guns as a kid, but surprisingly, I didn't have as much as most did. And that's mainly because I wasn't really that interested in them. I'm more interested in them as adults as I am when I was a kid. You know, I was interested in them a little bit when I was like 8 or 9, but that was a very short phase, like very short. Okay, Apple. Apple products. I'm going to put it at the bottom of good memories, almost bad memories. Because the very first smart device I ever used was my mom's iPad, which I loved as a kid. I can thank that iPad for me starting plush videos, because I started doing plush videos on that iPad. Um, Eventually, I moved on to doing it on my phone when I started GD Plush, which isn't the best quality, but I don't really have much more than that. So, yeah, I loved my mom's iPad, but besides that, I got an iPod Touch for my 11th birthday, I think, and it broke within the span of 2 years. It literally stopped working. And then, when that happened, or it was another situation, I got a gift card for the Apple Store instead of the Apple App Shop store, and I was like, I think it was for $10. And then I got on customer support with them, and then they asked me for $25 to put that onto my Apple account, and I was like, well, why do I have to do that? Literally his response, because that's the way it works. To this day, after that day, I've never used an Apple product, ever. I don't know if their customer service has improved. That's literally the worst customer service I've ever had. Asking, not $10, I'd maybe be okay if it was $10, like my money was, but it was $25 he was asking for. I tell ya. Anyways, that's enough about Apple. I'm nowhere near as big of a fan of Apple as most people are. Chia Pet. I didn't grow up with Chia Pets. I wanted to get one when I was a kid, but I never got one. Ever. Not even once. But I always loved the concept. I saw a Scooby-Doo one and I almost got one, but I never got a Chia Pet. These spike thingies, what are these called? I have great memories with these things. I didn't have one in my home. I mainly used these at school, but I did have great memories with these. It was literally in my kindergarten classroom. We'd have about 15, 20 minutes of playtime in kindergarten when I was in my class. And very often I would go to this thing. I have a lot of memories of my kindergarten class with this thing. Not gonna put childhood because it was really only during kindergarten and I didn't never have one at home, but I loved playing with that little needle thing where you get to stick your fingers in it and stuff like that. You see that, you know what it is. Ronald's Play Place. That sounds freaking wrong, actually. Creepy, kind of. But I have great memories. The thing is, I didn't live close to one of these things. This is the thing where there's a slide and a big, you know what it is. There's like a play area in McDonald's stores in certain locations. The nearest one from me when I was a kid was like over a half an hour away. I went there 9 or 10 times. It was fun. I wouldn't do it now because one, I'm a grown-ass adult, and two, the germs in there have got to be freaking really, I'd imagine it's disgusting. Can't believe I went in there as a kid. All the germs in there. Anyways, when I was a kid, I used to go in there all the time, and, not all the time, maybe once a month, maybe I'd go there. Once I was around 9 or 10 years old, I stopped going because I grew out of it, but when I was like 5 to 8, this was my jam. The thing is, I didn't live really close to one. Speaking of something I didn't live close to, I live so far away from here that I only went here one time, and that's Chuck E. Cheese's. But it was a good time. I went here for my 6th birthday in 2007, and it was fun. I don't remember too much. I remember Chucky, the animatronic, singing. I think Five Nights at Freddy's is kind of based off of this chain. It was fun. It really was. But I've only been to Chuck E. Cheese's one time in my entire life. Like I said, it was fun. I remember the animatronics singing, and I had pizza, not much more than that. But it was fun. I remember it being fun. Toontown. I tried to log onto this website as a kid, but I just couldn't. I don't think my computer was strong enough to hold this game. So I can't say I have too many memories with this game, but if my computer was a little better as a kid, I probably would have had this, and I would have had a blast like Webkinz and Club Penguin, but those two were my jam. Not really Toontown. Fruit Gushers. Oh my god, these were drugs when I was a kid. I would have injected these into my veins. And to this day, I just had a pack of Gushers in January. I still love these to this day. Maybe not quite to the level when I was a kid, but these are still really good. Oh, I see something. Oh my god, that brings back so much nostalgia. I'll tell you what it is when we come up to it. But, yeah, Gushers is a huge part of my childhood. I had Gushers a bunch of times. And they were one of the less common items in my school lunches as a kid, but I still had them a fair bit, and I really enjoyed them. Dreamworks, pretty much just like Pixar. It was my goal to see every Dreamworks movie. I'm gonna put it under Pixar because, unlike Pixar, I don't see every Dreamworks movie now, only the ones that interest me. That pretty much stopped when Trolls came out. Trolls was where I had my limit, and I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna like this movie very much. And then since Trolls came out, I only saw How to Train Your Dragon 3, which I just saw recently, which was good, but it was my least favorite of all the How to Train Your Dragon films. And what came out after that? Captain Underpants. That was pretty good. But Shrek, Madagascar, Kung Fu Panda, the Aardman films, Chicken Run, Wallace and Gromit, Flushed Away. There's Bee Movie. That movie is meme to hell, but I love the hell out of that movie, unironically as a kid. What else is there? God, Shark Tale. Again, unironically, I loved that film as a kid. A lot of films from when I was a child were from DreamWorks, and I loved them. And these are pretty much the only three franchises that really hold up for me. I like How to Train Your Dragon too, but I don't have as much fun as these three. But Kung Fu Panda, Madagascar, and Shrek are still films I pretty much watch this day. Kid Cuisine. What the heck happened there? Hold on. Okay. Kid Cuisine. Kid Cuisine is good memories. I had this a lot when a lot of the new movies were coming out. I believe I got this once when hold on a second, I'm getting into a better seated position. I had these a lot when the movie Open Season came out, and then I got one with I believe it was Ice Age 2, The Meltdown. But yeah, no, I had these as a kid. Not too much because it was a little unhealthy, but I still had these a fair bit, but not too many times. Toys R Us. I'm gonna put it under great memories. I didn't go there a heck of a lot, because nearest one was a half an hour away from where I lived, but still good. When I went there, I was always excited. I'd get pumped up when I went to Toys R Us. And I enjoyed going there pretty much till it closed. You know what? I know I was a teenager going there, like twice, but I mainly went there as a teenager for like, what is it? The NECA horror figures. That's until like 2019, they only really sold them at Toys R Us. And I got a Gizmo figure, and then I got a Freddy Krueger figure from Nightmare on Elm Street. Not Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. I remember getting the NECA toys there as a teenager, and it was fun. It's sad that it has to close down, but the first one that's reopening, because I hear they're reopening, is going to be opened in my home state. But wasn't the headquarters in New Jersey? I don't know. Well, we'll find that out soon. Zoo, zoo, zoo pals. Zoo, zoo, zoo pals. Zoo, zoo, zoo pals. Zoo pals are good memories. I did have these as a kid. My favorite thing to have on these little zoo pal plates was, chicken nuggets with ketchup. Literally, I'd always have chicken nuggets and ketchup on here with a couple french fries, maybe. But, I have good memories with these Zoo Pals plates. I didn't use them a lot. I used paper plates and regular plates more. But I have had Zoo Pals in the past, and I had fun with them. Oh, these things! Oh, I had so much fun with these things. If you somehow don't know what these things are, these are scooters they usually have in gym classes in school. We went on these things all the time in elementary school. All the time. Even a little bit into middle school. I think even the middle school I went to had these. But elementary school, this was like at least a once a week thing. We played floor hockey with these. We freaking raced. I think we played dodgeball on these. My God, these little scooters were so much fun. I don't think we used these in high school. I don't think we could really fit on them. Definitely in elementary and middle school we used these. The only bad memory I have to move them to grade. Cause I got my finger caught under one of these, and I cried as a kid. It was in first grade when we were playing on these. I got my finger caught under the wheel, and it hurt so bad that I cried, and it was embarrassing. But that's why it's great memories and not absolute childhood. But I had a blast with these. What's this? I don't even know what this is. Kid pics. I don't even know what that is. Sorry, so I can't really say much about that. The iDog. I have the McDonald's toy. Whenever that was. I don't really know much about this either. Pop Tropica. Good memories. I used Pop Tropica a fair bit. Not that much, but I have good memories of it. I mainly went to the Diary of a Wimpy Kid world. Is that on here? I don't think so. Oh, come on. That was a big part of my childhood, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. But, yeah, I don't really have that many memories with that. Because I only really used it when, like, the new Diary of a Wimpy Kid books and movies was coming out, but I used it a little bit. Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network is great memories. Not during this era, but the following era when Regular Show, Adventure Time, and Amazing World of Gumball first premiered. Those three shows. Oh God, I love them. I grew out of Adventure Time relatively quickly, but I watched the other two religiously until 2014. But I can't put it in absolute childhood because of the fact that I watched Nickelodeon a lot more, and that was pretty much the channel I was glued to until after the Loud House premiered. Then that was pretty much the only show I watched on that channel. And, yeah, I watched Cartoon Network as a kid a lot. I actually watched, Chowder was a huge part of my childhood. Not so much the other two, Foster and Billy and Mandy. But I watched Chowder a lot as a kid. But I do have great memories. Is this the Easy Bake Oven? I never had one as a kid. Mainly because it was targeted as a girl's toy. So, I never really used that. Nickelodeon. Oh, that is absolute childhood. Nickelodeon is up there with Pixar for being like peak childhood for me. That was the channel I always turned on. When I was like a toddler, Nick Jr. was what I watched when I watched Blue's Clues mainly, but I also watched Dora and the Wonder Pets. But when I grew a little bit older, I watched SpongeBob, Drake and Josh, iCarly, Fairly Odd Parents, Victorious, Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, all those shows. Oh, those are all my childhood shows. Didn't really grow up that much with Danny Phantom, but outside of that, most of the recognizable 2000s Nicktoons I grew up with. Sorry, I'm a little too young to have grown up with the 90s Nicktoons. I watched them a little bit when they were on Netflix, but my childhood goes with SpongeBob, iCarly, Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron, Drake and Josh. Those are all my childhood Nicktoons. Zuzu Pets. I got one. I got one single Zuzu Pet at my local grocery store, which is called a ShopRite. ShopRite, if you're from New Jersey, you instantly know what ShopRite is. But it's a grocery store in the Northeast, and they had like cheap little things in this weird shopping cart, and a Zuzu Pet was in there for like was it $1 or like $5? And then my grandma got that for me, and it was okay. I didn't really play with it that much. I played with it for like a couple days after I got it, but didn't really play with it that much. It was alright, but it wasn't that interesting. The only time I ever used a light bright was when I went to Cape May last year. When I went to Cape May last year, I was looking in the closets to put some of my clothes in out of my pack, and I came across a light bright in one of the closets, and I was like, I've seen a lot of people use this. Let's see if this works. It didn't. It didn't even have batteries in it. What the heck? So besides that, I didn't even know what a light bright was until the Nostalgia Critic. Xbox. Xbox is good memories, only because the only Xbox console I've ever had was an Xbox 360. And I had fun with it, but PlayStation and Nintendo were instantly what I preferred over Xbox. I played a lot of the Lego games on the Xbox, like Lego Harry Potter, Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, and Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, but really, I didn't really play Xbox. I was never an Xbox kid. I think I got made fun of at school a few times for being a PlayStation fan, but I never got rid of that opinion. They had McDonald's Neopets toys when I was a kid. It's the only thing I know about them. Literally, I know them from McDonald's toys. That's it. And I saw like commercials for them on Nickelodeon. That's it. I don't even know what those are. Sort of like kid pics. I don't even know what these are. Twitter. The most toxic dumpster fire of a website in the world. I didn't have a Twitter until I was like 15. And even then, I barely used it because it's pretty much the freaking disease of the internet. And I refuse to use it because I'm probably gonna freaking delete my account if I have to go on there. It's disgusting. AOL. Is this like AOL Internet? I have an AOL email account, which I use for my important emails, and my lesser important emails are for my Yahoo account. But, I never really used whatever this is. I think we might have had this on my very first computer, but that was about it. Never used this. Never used this. Facebook. You know what? Nah. It's great memories. Most of the people I still have on my Facebook account are family. But, I wasn't allowed to have a Facebook account until I was 11, after I did a school project, mind you, on American presidents in middle school. After that, I finally got my, my Facebook account, I believe in January 2013, and I loved it until I got a YouTube channel. Then I primarily posted on there. Now, I don't even post on my YouTube channel as much as I used to, because, I love my YouTube channel. Don't get me wrong, guys. I love and adore my channel to death. But it's not really the number one thing I do anymore. I'd rather sit down and watch movies and do other stuff, like playing video games and stuff like that. That's why sometimes you don't see me upload as often as I used to, but I still love my channel, and I try to get out multiple videos a week, because I do love my channel, but, I don't really use social media that much anymore. I watch YouTube a lot more than I upload, admittedly, but I still try to upload as much as possible. Facebook, though, it's great childhood memories, but I use it more as an adult as when I was a kid, because, I don't know, I didn't really know what to post. Now I know what to post on my Facebook. My Facebook is primarily my family members, and you know what? That's the way I want it to be. Childhood, PBS Kids. Actually, no. You know what? I watched Arthur. I watched Sesame Street. I think Thomas the Tank Engine was on here. I watched all those shows until I was around 6 or 7, but I didn't really watch PBS Kids that much. That was my little cousin who watched that religiously. Me, I watched a few shows on this channel, but wasn't really my favorite place to go to. Grips. I had these couple times. The main reason why I'm putting a lot of stuff here is a mix between I've never used them at all and I didn't, or very rarely. You know what? Let's replace this. Where are we going? No. Rarely used. There we go. Didn't grow up with rarely used. Danimals. Danimals, I had good memories because I had them a fair bit. Especially when I was first going to school, I'd often take them with me. I don't remember a heck of a lot about them, but yeah. This is what I was talking about when I was saying, oh, there's something from my childhood. Yogos! Yogos were my freaking childhood. When I went to kindergarten, I could eat these out of a freaking toilet. They were that good. Yogos were like drugs to me. Oh my god, I loved Yogos. And then I got sad when they got discontinued. But oh my god, pretty much a lot of days in kindergarten and first grade, I would take these with me to school and I would eat these like it was there's gonna be no tomorrow. I loved Yogos. Ugh. Damn, I'm getting tired. But anyways, I loved Yogos. They were my favorite thing as a kid. The parachute thing, or I think that's what it's called, the parachute thing. The parachute thing, I loved this thing. I adored this thing as a kid. We'd all get together to use this parachute together in gym class as kids. I always wanted to do this, but we'd often have a choice. The parachute or tag. You know what all the kids picked? Tag. And then one time, we outvoted for the parachute, and then this little kid cried. What a wuss. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, they'd always vote for tag, and every single time I'd vote for the parachute. Kind of because I lost at tag often. But, no, I love this thing. Oh, just waving it in the air. It was so much fun. That brings a lot of... I like this more than the scooters because I didn't get my freaking fingers crammed on the parachute. While with the scooters, I looked like SpongeBob in that one episode where he cracked his knuckles with the scooters, if you remember that. That was fun. But, yeah, the parachute was pretty fun. Fruit roll-ups. Oh, I often got the fruit roll-ups and fruit by the foot and Gushers together in a variety pack. So I love fruit roll-ups. I love the tongue tattoos. I often just tried to get them on my tongue. They never worked for me. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because the fruit roll-ups didn't like me personally. They were like, "You suck, Gaming Deal." I was like, "Thank you, fruit roll-ups." Book fairs. Book fairs, book fairs, book fairs. I'm going to put them under great memories. This is where I would get my Diary of a Wimpy Kid books every year. The new Wimpy Kid books came with the fall book fairs, and I got my new Wimpy Kid books all the time at the book fairs. Do you want to know the problem why I'm putting them under great memories? They had some pretty freaking expensive shit to sell at a school. Like, they had video games, they had graphic novels, they had... I believe they had these pointy thingies, which it took me up until, like, 3rd grade to finally get. But they had these pointy sticks that a lot of our teachers got. I finally got one in 3rd grade, and it broke in the matter of probably 2 or 3 days. But I have a lot of memories with book fairs. Dunkaroos. I literally tried Dunkaroos for the first time when they brought them back a couple of years ago. I didn't really eat these as a kid. I don't know why. I don't know if it was because it was really high in sugar, because I imagine it would have been, but I don't know. Is this Tamagotchi? It reminds me of that new Pixar movie, Turning Red. I believe May had one of them. But, admittedly so, I had a Tamagotchi. It died, and it was the saddest day of my entire life. But in all seriousness, I had it. Actually, I am going to put it under rarely used because I found it literally at a garage. Tamagotchis are more of a kids born in the early 90s thing and maybe even late 80s. Kids born in the 2000s, I can't really recall anyone who used a Tamagotchi. I literally used one because it was at a yard sale for like $3 or $4. And it died, and it was sad, and I didn't want to use it anymore. Gogurt. Gogurt. Oh, Gogurt. Go-Gurt, ladies and gentlemen. Gogurt is the freaking bomb. Gogurt is delicious. Gogurt is something that I don't know if you eat or drink it, I don't know. I would say drink, because it was more like it goes down. You don't really chew on it. So, I drank Go-Gurt a lot as a kid. Another snack I used to bring very often to school. And I loved them as a kid. They were a big part of my childhood. Nesquik. Oh, Nesquik is still something I drink to this day. I often go across the street to my local 7-Eleven, and I get these, and they're pretty good. They're really good, actually. As a matter of fact, you know what? They're going under here. Childhood. Love myself some Nesquik. Animal crackers? These are frosted animal crackers. I had these a few times. They were good. But I mainly have these when I go to Dairy Queen nowadays and get the animal cookie blizzard. That's freaking good. I just went to Dairy Queen tonight and I told you that already. I had a huge blizzard from Dairy Queen. A extreme chocolate brownie one. Oh god, that was so good. But frosted animal cookies, I had them, but Not that much, so I can't put them under great or childhood, but I had them a fair bit. Bratz, girl toy. Is this Beyblade? Uh, I got one. I didn't know how to use it and I just quit. Admittedly, I quit on it. Oh, this thing! I had the boy version of this. I think they had like a blue version. This the thing. We got a weird pen thingy. Yeah, I used this all the time as a kid. I had a blue one. I loved it. I adored it. It was like a little notepad with a fake pen, I think. Is that what that is? Because if so, I used that a lot as a kid. Okay, we're getting down towards the end of the list. A lot of these I didn't really use that much, admittedly. A skateboard? Are these the little skateboards? I got one of the ones from the McDonald's when they released Star Wars mini skateboards, but outside of that, I didn't really use them. If that's a real skateboard, I haven't even thought of using a real one. Same with scooters. Surprisingly, I've never rode a scooter in my entire life. That's because I was afraid to ride a bike, so I didn't really grow up on them. Um, we got Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I got a few. I didn't really use them all that much, admittedly. What is this? God, I need to clean my glasses to see that. I don't think I was there ever. Is that RuneScape? No, I didn't really use that. Beanie Babies. I had a lot of these as a kid, so I'll put them under great memories. They were a little weird, especially the ones with the big guys, kind of creeped me out, but I did have a lot of little Thai Beanie Babies. I just watched a documentary on Beanie Babies last year in 2021, and it was weird how obsessed people were of them in the late 90s. That was wacky. Newgrounds. Oh, Newgrounds. Uh, I think I played the Koopa's Revenge game. Oh, Koopa's Revenge alone gets great memories, but it's traumatizing to see some of the stuff I've seen on there. Blech. DeviantArt. Blech. Oh, gross. Some of the art they upload on there is disgusting. But this is mainly my teenagehood. I didn't even have a DeviantArt account until 2018. But during my teenagehood and my early love for the Loud House, I used DeviantArt very often. But besides that, I didn't really use that. Cool Math Games! Oh, Cool Math Games. Cool Math Games. Oh, Papa Scooperino. My God, all those games on Cool Math Games. That's kind of an SML reference, but Cool Math Games, I used that all the freaking time as a kid. And the teachers didn't even know that really wasn't that much of a math website. Mainly just fun games that aren't educational. But I had a blast on Cool Math Games as a kid. Habbo Hotel, never really used that. And Skype. Skype is great memories, but I used Google Duo a lot more, and I really only used this maybe 9 or 10 times as a kid. Skype has great memories of calling my relatives and stuff like that, but I didn't really use it that much. And then this thing, wherever that goes, here, again. So that's going to do it for my 2000s childhood tier list, guys. I hope you liked this video. I did. I thought this was a very fun video. I promise now I actually promise you guys this. It's probably not going to be until next week because it's getting a little bit late now. But next week, you're going to be getting visiting my Webkinz account for the first time in 10 years video. And then we'll be getting another plush. I think next week we are finally going to be getting 3 video plush week. And I think the last video for this week is going to be a double review of Turning Red and the Batman. And that's going to do it, guys. I hope you liked this video. Gaming Do here. See you later. Bye.